Konnichiwa minasan. Let's learn Japanese episode 9. Yokoso. Yokoso. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. 今日はね, particles. Yay! Everyone's favorite Japanese grammar thing to learn. Because it's so different from English and it's so fun to try and figure this out, right? Particles. Wa ga, ni or e, o, no, and de. There are other combinations that you can make, but these are the 5 basic ones. And this is very difficult for English speakers because our language doesn't work like this. And actually, it was a lot easier when I learned about Old English, like 2,000-year-old English, because I learned about something called grammatical case. And it breaks down into these kind of 5 categories, and I realized, oh my god, that's what Japanese does with the particles. Oh, it all makes sense now. It's difficult for us, for English learners, to understand how to use Japanese particles because we don't have the proper meta-language, the language necessary to talk about language. So we have to go on a little bit of a trip here, do a little bit of a mental gymnastics, but hopefully this should actually help you understand when to use which particle. After I understood this, it got much easier. And so with that said, we will crack into it. So I've broken them down, as I said, into 5 different categories. And you're going to learn some fancy English words today. So we'll start with the top one, wa and ga. And yes, I know there's a difference between wa and ga. We are not even touching that with a 10-foot pole today because that requires a whole lot of other explanation that we don't have time for. Not right now, anyway. Maybe next time. Okay, so wa ga. Nominative case. Nominative refers to what the subject of the sentence is. Who is the agent of the action in this sentence? Who is doing the thing, whatever it is? That's nominative case. And so this could be, well, it doesn't have to be a person. The subject of your sentence could be an inanimate thing, but it's the subject. And if it's a living thing that's capable of doing actions, then that's the thing that's doing the actions. That's who is thinking or running or doing what. Nominative case. So whoever you want the subject, the agent of your sentence, the thing doing the actions to be, you use wa or ga. Next one. Ni or e. And you can use these two interchangeably. There are subtle differences, but really you can just do what you want with these two. Dative case. So you stick these on the end of a noun. You stick all of these after the noun. It comes at the end of the noun. So you stick these on the end of a noun that if you have a targeted action. Yes, okay. I'll save that for when I have an example, but I'll save it for when I get to talk about it. But the target of an action. So, okay, simpler example. 図書館に行きます. 図書館, library. に行きます. You're going to the library. The library is the destination. It is the target of the going action. And so you put ni or e on there. So you may notice I always say, let's learn Japanese or let's read in Japanese. Yokoso. Welcome to the episode. That's another example of it. Because it's in a lot of cases, not all of them, where the preposition to or... Yeah, think of it this way. To understand dative case, or to understand ni or e, in any case where you would use to, into, on, onto, those kind of prepositions, that's the noun that you stick the ni or e onto. Okay, moving on. Accusative case. The thing which you are acting upon. So, well, ホワイトボードを持っています. I'm doing something to this whiteboard. This whiteboard is the object that I am acting upon. So I stick o on the end of that noun in the sentence. that indicates to the listener that, okay, that object is the thing that the agent that you put warga on is doing something to. So, hon o yomimasu. Read a book, right? You're doing something to the book. Not a very active thing, but you get the idea. Accusative case marks the noun that you are acting upon, doing something to. You're doing some action to this thing and it will cause it to maybe be changed or well, the book doesn't really change after you read it. But you get the idea. The thing that you are acting upon. Accusative case. So you use o. Okay, next one. Genitive case. No. So you can also refer to this as possessive case or anything. So for example, the color of the boat or the boat's color. Yane no iro. Or something like that. Or like a Japanese singer, Nihon no kashu. So it's a singer of Japan, that singer belongs to Japan, or the yane no iro, the color of the boat that belongs to the boat. It's kind of a strange way, but you could think of it like that. Anything where you have two nouns that are joined together in some kind of relationship, either by possession or relation. Right? So, watashi no ani, my brother, for example. Older brother. That's no. Anytime you have two nouns that are joined together, you put no in between them. That's the genitive case. It marks possession or a quality of something. Okay, last one. De, instrumental case. The thing that you use to do something. So for example, I just call this a maka. Maka de kakimasu. I write with a marker, or if I used a pen de kakimasu. Something that you use to do an action. So whatever noun you're using to do some action, you put de at the end. You can also use this for, and we'll go back to the previous example, toshokan de benkyou shimasu. Toshokan, library. Benkyou shimasu, study. I study at the library. So you think, wait, that sounds like dative case, doesn't it? No, because you're using the library to do something. I know, it's kind of weird, but the way that I had this explained to me at first was the place where the action takes place. Toshokan de benkyou shimasu. Or, let's clear up the difference between ni, or a, and de. And a really good example, one class that I was in. If you say, kawa ni ishi o nagemasu. Kawa, river, ishi is stone, nagemasu is throw. I throw a stone into the river. So the river is your target of the throwing action. De, on the other hand, if you said, kawa de ishi o nagemasu. That just means you're standing beside the river, you're at the river, and you're throwing stones. Maybe one goes into the river, maybe into the bushes, maybe you throw it at a duck or whatever. But you're throwing stones, and the river is not the target of the throwing action, it is the place where that action is happening. Big, big difference. Kawa ni ishi o nagemasu. Throwing rocks into the river. Kawa de ishi o nagemasu. Throwing rocks at the river. I don't know why you'd be doing this, but maybe you hate ducks or something. But that is the difference. It is a big difference. And if you mix those two up, ni and de, it's going to be very confusing for anyone who is listening to you. So that is particles. I know we kind of rushed through it and there's more details to it, but that is the basis. If you can understand this, it will be very easy to know which particle to use when. Of course, if you have more questions, please let me know. I'll try to get to them all in the comments or in following videos. 見てくれてありがとうございます。今度もよろしくお願いします。じゃあね。See ya. Cheers.